Hello, everyone, and welcome back to role-playing Three Galaxies. We don't really have a title for it. I don't know.
Three
It's
Galaxies
it's three
campaign.
galaxies.
Yeah,
That's
three,
the
it's just not
title.
as doesn't roll off the tongue as well as riffs, you know.
Yeah. Or you could say
But yes,
Rifts, Three Galaxies, but yeah.
riffs. Oh, that might work. So, as everyone, you have a ship now. You actually have a bona fide ship. I actually had a lot of fun drawing this, trying to make it look sleek, like I think a runner would. You
Sweet.
don't have any wings or anything. You just kind of have aerodynamic curves,
Ooh.
like a
Is
flying
that in the
sausage.
description, or are you just saying you didn't bother to put in wings?
No, I didn't think it should have wings.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Mm,
But yes,
I,
one thing before we get too started, we of course you guys have saved the mechanics. They have agreed to help Sophie Hart whatever help repair your ship. I do need someone to roll me a D100 though regarding this matter. Okay, that's actually a decent roll. Because here's the thing. When Sophie told you that you sit down and a mechanic pay 20 million, give them a month, and they'll repair everything, that was assuming cost of parts too. Now you're getting free labor. In fact, you're getting a lot of free labor.
yep.
But the
You're welcome,
question is,
engineers.
yeah, the question is, do you have the parts as well? Originally, I was thinking, well, no, you guys aren't going to have many replacement parts, but you do also happen to be transporting a person who is moving the rest of his junk shop.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
um, um, so here's what you guys happen. Repairs go according to plan. No one comes to you with any issues, but you do see Hart at certain points when Snipe's not around or not paying attention or looking, picking through his things, and well, repairs stay on schedule. By the time you guys land, you will have just over half of all the damage and bad systems completely replaced and repaired. So
Sweet.
your percentage of something going wrong has basically been about halved. If you were to get your ship fully repaired, you're looking at about 10 million now.
Okay, not too bad.
Yep.
How much more do we have on credit, by the way?
Um,
We have 10 mil on credit, and then what do
mhm.
we have left over after getting this ship?
After getting the ship, we
Yep.
have un momento. Let me scroll up. We
Sure.
have 14 million.
That's nice. That's really nice. My suggestion, well, I mean, our plan is to go back to the frontier station, right?
Yeah.
And make good on that credit. But what would be really nice is we keep a little bit of money of that aside for us to do a little bit of hauling. You know what I mean?
hmm
Um, and exactly what we decide to haul, we can decide as a group, right? But
hmm
with a good amount of seed money, I mean, that's pretty good, right? See, the one thing my character would teach the others is it's one thing to take a contract, right? Which
Mhm.
is someone wanting you to move something for them, right? It's a whole, but really big profit can be if we don't find a contract, we make our own contract, right? We either do something completely legal, which is just find something that's being sold low somewhere else and being bought high somewhere else, or we can find the place that has a high demand, but it happens to be, illegal.
Yeah.
Then big profits, but bigger risk, right? But let's not do
Exactly.
to get ahead of ourselves. But it'd be nice for us to have some weapons for defense. We do because we're going to be hunting down these pirates, right? But once everything's said and done, it'd be nice for us to have, I don't know, a couple million, so we can, make our own fate. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't wrong with having a nest egg.
darn straight, or at least an emergency fund, right?
Yeah.
hmm
Cool. Well,
Okay.
enough of that planning. We're heading towards Noble City, if I'm correct, right?
Correct. Headed
Yes.
towards Noble City. The rest of the journey is fairly quiet, with two notable exceptions. One of them we're going to role play. One of them I'm just going to tell you. Um, Hart finds in your back room in your common living center. The table in the center was very dusty and very old, but when she cleaned it off a bit, she found out that it was actually an old gaming table. Now, a lot of these older slider ships had owners that did exactly what you guys do, and you spend a lot of time in space. And what a lot of them would have done is they would install these tables that were electronic computers that would display all kinds of games, from card games to gambling games to strategy and video games, so that crew members could come together and just kill time. And it took
Hey.
her almost no time at all to get it back up and running.
Cool.
Great. So, just want you to know that for roleplay purposes, Xavier's going to be starting a Let's Playing hobby to upload on 3 Galaxies YouTube.
He's going to be playing a role playing game about something called Chicago. The other one is a quick kind of role play interaction about a day out from Noble City. This is going to involve whoever's in the cockpit.
Well, that'd
So-
be you, Zave.
Yep, that's me.
Yep.
Right. In ships like this, when you pilot, not only do you have your console in front of you, but your viewing screen, your, for lack of a better term, window to the outdoor, also has an electronic HUD on, a display that gives you different informations, nav points, points of interest. It works just like a HUD to tell you information about what you're seeing.
Okay.
Like I said, about a day out from Noble Station, you're sitting there, and then all of a sudden, all the lights flicker, and then your HUD goes out.
All right. Not gonna panic. Just the HUD went out, right? The engines are still burning.
As far as you can tell, all systems are nominal except for you have no HUD.
No heads-up display. Okay. I'm gonna be patient for a moment. Sometimes it's just a glitch, or maybe Hart is working on something. I'm gonna wait about 2 minutes and see what happens.
All right. Then after about 30 seconds of your waiting,
Uh-huh.
you get the comms opens up and you hear Hart go, Xavier,
Yeah, don't like the sound of that. Yes.
it's no, it's nothing to worry about. Just
Uh-huh.
everything's fine up there,
I
right?
have no heads-up display. I have no heads-up display. Right now we're hurtling through space, but I have 0 trajectories. So, the sooner you can fix that, I'd really appreciate it.
You kind of hear tapping, and then you hear, okay, so you need a HUD. Okay, I'll fix it. And then the intercom shuts off.
Okay. At this point, through Xavier's mind, he's going through emergency evacuation procedures and remembering oh shit. Do we have EVA suits or any sort of vacuum suits
Yes.
supplied? Okay.
Yes, I will retract this if we have to. I'm going to say that there are enough, at least for the crew.
Okay.
That I would not think your characters would step onto a spaceship without.
Exact. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's nice. So I'm right now. Xavier is going through where where those things are stored. He's like looking. He's like, okay, so if we have a breach, how fast can I run? He's just going through an emergency plan in his head. I'm gonna wait about a couple minutes.
Okay. After about 3 minutes or 4 minutes,
Oh boy. Okay.
above your head, you start hearing clump, 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 and then right down down where your view screen is, you see Hart in one of those suits magnetically attached to the hull. Get right in front of the view screen.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you. She kind of holds her thumb out like she's gauging something with her tongue out the side of her mouth.
Uh-huh.
And then she gets down and starts drawing on the view screen.
No. I'm gonna go on the radio. Let's open up their radio band and say, Heart, Heart,
Huh?
stop! No, stop that. That's not helping. That's not bringing up the heads-up display. You're just drawing on my view screen.
She looks then she goes, yes, but it's gonna be hours before it's back up, and you said you needed one, and I'm just trying to.
You know what? Don't worry about that. Maybe just turn those hours into maybe just one, please. Get back to where you were. For the love of God, or I will turn this thing so hard to port you will fly off.
She looks at you, kind of salutes the helmet, and then says "aye aye," and then starts clumping back. Stops for a second, bends down, draws a quick heart, fills it in, and then starts clumping back.
Xavier is now hoping, praying really, that the station services at Noble City will be able to remove this at a non-exorbitant rate. And then he counts backwards a few times, starting from 100, and does the best with what he's got.
Okay. It takes about 2.5 hours. Your HUD system does come back on. And you don't hear anything coming from the comms. Other than just like a quick check from one of the other engineers to make sure that everything's up and running.
Yep, everything's good. I will ask over the comms. So, what caused the HUD to blink off? What were you doing?
There's a pause, and then the mechanic says, Heart's doing something to your nuclear reactor. It's astounding.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just astounding wouldn't be the word I would use. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate all the help. But I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so, I'm just an honest tradesman. But you would think that you wouldn't want to start tinkering with something while it's in use.
There's another pause. And he comes back on and he says, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's conventional.
Yeah, and
but
here's another thing. Not only is it in use, but it's the only thing that's separating us from cold frozen vacuum death.
He responds, what was being done isn't anything that would be dangerous to the system or the ship itself. Not that losing your heads-up display isn't dangerous. What I mean to say is, if this works the way she thinks it is and everything points to it from my calculations, you're going to be able to get a really big boost to systems.
All right. Just let me know before you start tinkering with anything else, just to save the pilot from having a heart attack.
You hear from the background, aye aye.
Okay. Okay.
At some point, as you guys are getting ready to land, the mechanics would actually gather you guys together, and would say that because of Hart's tinkering, she did something. She worked some sort of mechanical magic on your nuclear core, which would give you, basically she was able to route it to several different systems so that if you are in an emergency, you can use your nuclear power core to supercharge one of your systems, be it your engines to go really fast, your sublight engines, your weapon systems to have a extra punch, or your shields to have extra defense. It will supercharge them for a period of time. However, after doing so, your nuclear reactor will have to be replaced within the week. Because it's basically taking all of that nuclear fusion power and kind of expending it all really quickly into whatever system. And she's basically worked some magic into making it do that and making the systems able to handle the extra capacity. So and the mechanic stresses it's an emergency one-time feature, but it's amazing from his standpoint.
I
Neat.
see. Awesome.
And with that, unless anyone has anything they'd like to do the day or so before you reach Noble Station, we can go ahead and move on to said station.
Yeah.
I think
Wonderful.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm golden.
So after just about six and a half days, you guys arrive in the Avius. I believe that's the system it was called. At the gas giant, where the noble city, thus named for the type of gas that it mostly mines.
Uh-huh.
And when you arrive at the gas giant, you can't see the station. Uh,
Okay.
and Xavier, you and of course Talavek and Lucas, you probably all know this. The station itself is in a habitable area below the first or the outer atmosphere. So you
Okay.
actually have to go through a bit of the atmosphere to get to the blah, blah, habitable zone.
Okay.
It's not too dangerous. It's a little rocky as you're buffeted by winds, but nothing that your ship can't handle.
Just high
Um,
turbulence.
mhm.
Okay.
And after just about 30 seconds or so, you pass into the habitable envelope and you see Noble Station.
Sweet. So, oh, sorry. I'll let the other players. I heard a breath intake, so I'll shut up. Did I not hear a breath intake?
Not for
No.
mine.
I'm losing my mind. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's good. It's fine, guys. I'm just piloting the ship. We're good. So I'll get on the comms. Approach, I guess, for lack of a better word, like a star control, port authority or star control or whatever. Request landing. Find a dock, and ease us in there.
You you're given clearance
Mm-hmm.
after you state your ship's registration, which
Uh-huh.
a good thing to bring up that your character specifically would know
Mm-hmm.
more than others.
Mm-hmm.
You have your ship's registration.
Okay. So what are we
You
registered with? The CCW?
Exactly. You're
Okay.
registered with the CCW,
All right.
and such registration also extends like a passport to other places. In your
Okay.
line of work, it's sometimes nice to have an alternate yet still um, genuine looking registration and information,
Oh, of
um,
course.
which
Yeah.
which you might yeah which your character would know the avenues of looking into, but
Uh-huh. But we don't have it currently, obviously.
right from GM to player, I just wanted to make sure that you know that is an
No,
option
thanks for
that
that
your
heads
character.
up for letting me know. Because sometimes if you want to do something sneaky, you want to change the license plate. Eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
So okay, cool.
But you're using your genuine for now, because it's the only one you have,
Yep.
and they give you they give you clearance to land on landing bay 17.
Okay.
They ask, "Are you here for business or pleasure?"
Um, Mostly business, but we'll see if we can't nip a bit of pleasure as well.
All right. You'll be met by one of our representatives on landing bay 17.
Wonderful.
Please be aware that landing fees are 6,000 credits.
Understood. Now, from player to GM, I could have swore. Now, is that a discounted rate? Because I could have swore our actions to help the engineers or something like that helped alleviate a docking fee. No, it was on Frontier Station. Frontier
Yeah.
Station normally had a
Yeah.
docking fee, but
It was
waived
amazing
for
cargo
us.
6. Yeah.
Yes, but
Cargo-
for this is a completely different place, so we're good. What's the name of the planet?
Actually, it's a very boring name. I believe I'd have to look it up, but I know it's a number. It's basically like Avius 7.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very boring.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Noble City is a little bit more exciting as far as a descriptor. I understand.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, representative. I'll of course give everyone else here in the ship the heads up. But it's all just bureaucracy, so we got nothing to worry about. Once we get this check-in procedure all finished here, Snipe, where do you want? Do you need to meet with someone first before we start offloading your goods?
Snipe said, "Yes. I might need a day. I have a contact, but I need to find a space. Just Give me a standard day and I should be good.
That's fine. In the meantime, we're going to try to find someone who can buy this nickel for us. Buy this nickel from us, and maybe we'll have a little bit of R&R. What do you say, guys?
That sounds good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Out of character, what nickel?
The nickel we got from that field.
We didn't
From the
get any.
We didn't
exploded
actually
planet.
feed-
I
we didn't
felt
actually
because it
get
was too hot.
Yeah.
Oh
We need
shit!
to actually get the containers.
That's right. We have to
unless
get.
we
Sorry,
want to-
sorry. Substitute that
Yes.
out with purchasing containers for nickel.
Containers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless we want to sell the coordinates to somebody that has a ship for an exorbitant amount. Like, let's say 5 million
Yeah,
to
here's
just
the,
sell the coordinates right now.
it'd be awesome. I like the idea. There's only it's a little risky in the sense that we're going to be selling these coordinates, and even if we get someone who will pay that price, right? What if they get there and there's no fucking nickel? They will hate us, right? Or they're going to want some sort of proof or something like that. I think it's more profitable if we just invest in the crates, which can haul all sorts of stuff, not just nickel, and reap the rewards ourselves. That way, if we get there and it's gone, we're not completely hosed.
And we can treat the field as our own personal little money tree.
It's true. That's very true. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The likelihood of anyone coming across it is low, but you know, sometimes people find needles in haystacks, right? And
I understand.
but let's put a pin in that idea. That's not the worst idea. If I can come up with someone, because I know guys who know guys, right? And so if I can come up, if I have somewhere, if someone's on Noble's station here that's within my network, or at least know someone from my network, people that we can kind of trust, that we run in the same circles, maybe they'll believe, you know, maybe my word will be good enough as proof, right? And if it's not, and if they go there and nothing shows up, they know they can get their money back without being ripped off, right? So it's not the worst idea in the world.
As a
all.
GM, I can let you guys know that the amount of nickel and iron you saw, basically half a planet got blown off. There
Yeah.
is not a ship big enough in this galaxy to cart all that off quickly.
That's the reason why it's an oasis.
Right, but the logical. I mean, and I'm just explaining more in this world. That doesn't mean that someone else can't go there and set up shop. So Xavier still has valid points. Just I wanted to let you guys know the nickel will still. I can't imagine someone carting it all off quickly, but there can still be someone else to stake a claim or something like that.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, they could see that. Okay, so we do have two options, right? We can hope no one comes across it, and we can haul off some and make quite a bit of profit ourselves, right? Or we would get something called, like, we would probably get more than a finder's fee. You know what I mean? Like, if we can find up, like, we don't have to sell it to just a group of individuals. We could sell it to a corporation. We could sell this to a government, right? And if we get even just a percentage of what they reap, like 2%, 3%, that would be huge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, sometimes they might just offer us a finder's fee, which is money up front. But if we can jockey some sort of percentage out of this,
I think a percentage is the wise choice here.
yeah. What do you think, Lucas and Isaac?
As long as we get some sort of cash out of it, I don't particularly mind whatever we do with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
In my opinion, as long as we get paid, it's great.
okay.
It all depends on if we want to spend the time and the effort to go to the place and haul everything back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, we're not
Or-
doing it.
Yeah, or... Sorry,
Well,
keep going.
one of the options is we actually get the crates and do it ourselves,
That's true, yep.
or we sell the coordinates for whatever instantly, and then we can go about our business doing whatever.
That's true. Our beautiful ship, which we don't have a name for yet. It's very unlucky for us to fly a ship without a name.
Yeah.
Xavier's gonna pitch some name ideas. I didn't save
last
it.
Sessions. I remember last sessions. I didn't like them. Okay.
Oh, you kind of liked the, what was it called? The Explorator? No.
Excursionist.
The
When you can't
Excursionist.
remember it, that's not a good sign.
You know what? Shut up. Anyways, okay, so how about this? Step one, we'll put our feelers out while we're here. Snipe is doing his thing. We'll put some feelers out, right? And we'll see if we can't find some sort of corporation or governmental body, right? That would give us a percentage of what we have. You know what I mean? We'll draw up some sort of contract, that sort of thing. All right?
Yep.
If worst comes to worst and we have no bites, then how about we just buy a few crates to collect some of it, so when we come back we have some proof of what we got. You know what I mean? And then take it from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good start.
Okay. Great. So, but first we got this Bay 17 attendant that's gonna come up here. So we got nothing to worry about. I mean, everything that we're doing right now is legal, and we've saved all these fine people's lives. By the way, these fine engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is there a way for us to convince them to work on our ship for the day while we're here before they take off to wherever they need to go?
They roll me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, roll me a convince check.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a D100, but you have a convince for a reason.
I do. I do have this lovely trust intimidate skill. Oh, I succeed by like 44. No, 34.
Nice. Hi. The leader, for lack of a better term, agrees that 3 of the mechanics will stay on the ship and help keep trying to repair it. The other 3 are going to need to secure passage and try and get help getting their ship salvaged off of that planet. They do say, though, however, if you want us to continue to work, obviously our labor would be free after what you did for us, but we're out of parts. We can give you a shopping list, and it's not too expensive, but if you want us to continue to repair, we're going to need replacement wiring.
Okay. All right. Enough for the day's worth of work, you mean?
Well, yes, you might want to just go ahead and pick up enough for the ship or enough for and he'll give you he'll give you a little data pad, and for the day's worth of work you're looking at about 3,000 credits of wiring. To rewire the whole ship you're looking at about 30,000. He'll also give you the specs on what kind of container you would need to pick up said nickel.
That's good to know. All right, that's good. That's excellent. All right. I'll download all that information onto my little computer, my little wrist computer. Or write it down, type it down. Although Xavier's kind of old-fashioned, so he also writes things down on his notepad from time to time. So he probably would do that with the specs for the container, for sure.
Lucas is going to be hovering over your shoulder. It's going to pipe up. I've been with quite a few groups, but I've never met one that's been so interested in profit before.
I answer Lucas with the pencil that I was using to write things down. I put it in my mouth and chew at the back of it a little bit as I say, oh, really? That's kind of strange. What kind of groups were you with? I mean, profit makes the world go round. It makes us buy things that we want.
Oh.
It's fun.
Oh, the places I've been. We'd usually just go out on adventures, and sure, we would love to pick up some lovely shiny trinkets and sell them on the market, but I don't think we've actively did that as all of our time.
See, you just did stuff in the reverse way. Because when you look for profit, adventure comes to you. Trust me, right? Now, sometimes when you look for adventure, profit doesn't necessarily always come to you. But always looking for a deal, always looking to make money, trust me, there's enough characters out there to fill a lifetime of adventure.
And Lucas is going to be like, yes, I will be taking mental notes.
Gotcha.
He brings up his like scrapbook, starts wildly scribbling with his pen.
So, did you have a role play in mind for this person that's coming up to the dock, Squee, or was that more just
Not a very thorough one. It was
Okay.
basically just going to welcome you to the noble city, and give you any information on points of interest you may want.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, so this is I'm kind of thinking of this, guys. Obviously, we want to feel out for a place. Well, I have a feeling that we're going to be a little busy here because we want to feel out for a place where we can sell this nickel. But on our way back to Frontier, the Frontier station, it'd be a real waste for us to have just nothing on board. You know what I mean? For it to be empty. It'd be nice if we found something to haul back. You know what I mean? So it's not a waste of time. So someone, if they want to look for more legal routes, and I could look for more unconventional routes in which to fill our ship with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But how about one thing at a time? Maybe worry about the nickel first.
Yeah, so let's not throw too many irons
Into the
fire.
fire. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. I'm just getting excited. I'm getting excited at all the possibilities. It's
I
my bad.
understand. I'm
All
the
right.
same way.
Okay. Um, I'm just trying to think of locations of interest. Okay. So.
Well,
Okay.
there has to be,
Mhm.
I don't know, there's got to be places of like factories or industry in this facility.
Mhm.
Maybe
mhm.
maybe they need something hauled that they can't get to right away, and they'll need some freelancers to do it for them, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah. I'm also thinking of maybe if this is a place of a corporate headquarters of any type, right? Or if there's a governmental embassy.
I'm willing to put good credits on that they do.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
We'll ask our little tour guide if
Uh-huh.
there's any corporate headquarters here at Noble City or embassies of any sort.
There are no embassies, but there is a corporate headquarters of the mining facility in the area.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Noble City is they are a mining city. That their main expert is, of course, Noble Gas,
Mhm.
which is commonly used throughout the galaxy for all kinds of neon lights and other light sources that you would find in space stations, planets, etc. But they also have mining expeditions that go out to the surrounding moons and mine harder and heavier minerals.
Gotcha.
And the corporate office, so to speak, is based out of Noble City.
Well, that seems like a fine place to visit, don't you guys think?
I think so.
Great.
The lunar places?
No, 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 no. The corporate headquarters that represents those lunar bases.
Yeah. We're going to like Exxon.
Yeah,
or some
we
kind
don't
of-
need to talk to miners. We need to talk to the
Yeah.
decision makers, right?
Yeah.
We need to talk to the suits.
the suits.
They're gonna drop a contract for us. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Do I get to play as a professional again?
Sure, if you want.
It
Actually,
might
it'd probably
come
be
in handy.
best. Mm-hmm.
I need a suit.
Well, you're a little bit shorter than me, a tiny bit wider, but I think I could fit you into one of my suits. Just don't do anything to it.
I could probably find one on the station somewhere.
Oh, I'm certain of it. Okay, fair enough. May I make a request? Muted colors, nothing too flashy.
Is a nice navy blue okay with you?
It's yes. I'm just okay. Look at what you're wearing right now. Xavier
Yes.
says.
Do you
Look
like it? And he spins a little bit.
Yeah, but see how bright and loud it is?
You're gonna
Yes.
intimidate
Exactly. So now you understand my concern. I don't need to figure out what color, as long as it's not this flashy is all. We want them to take us seriously.
Turn the volume down.
Oh, if you want them to take me seriously, then I will definitely get a suit like that.
Oh boy. Okay. um, shall we meet nearby? What's a good drinking establishment or social place nearby the headquarters?
Believe it or not, our the bar I would suggest that's closest to platform 17 is simply called The Place.
The place. Okay.
I must warn you all, though, of course, no mega damage weapons or energy or armor of any kinds allowed on the station. Such things will have to stay on your ship. You are allowed
Understood.
one conventional firearm of your choice.
Great.
Lucas will pull out of his bag a a Tommy gun, wave around. Will this do?
Oh my god, where the hell did that come from?
It's in my second sack.
Well,
The
It
guide
does
will
meet
say,
regulations.
the guide will say, as long as you don't intend to use it, yes, it will do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So
He's my friend.
one conventional weapon.
The guide nods and says, one.
Oh, I'm
Isaac
sorry,
will
guys.
sigh. He'll take off his gun belt with his 2 revolvers and put it down, and he'll take off his shoulder harness with his 2 automatic pistols and put them down. He will take out his ankle holster and he'll put it down.
We'll be here a
And he'll-
while.
He'll take out his other ankle holster and hold up a black and silver revolver. Will this do?
You probably should put it on the ship. I think they're probably just gonna take it if you leave it here.
Well,
Xavier's-
I'll take it all on the ship, but I'm asking the guide, would this gun do?
The guide, with infinite patience, just repeats again, one conventional firearm per person is fine.
Xavier says, "Oh, the sacrifices we must make."
Yes. He'll put that back on his ankle holster and start carting the rest of his guns back to the ship.
Great. Xavier, he would have kept his energy pistol on board anyway. He just has his small Walther PP style revolver with him. Obviously, it's not a Walther PP because that's from Earth and no one's heard of Earth, but it's that style, right? A nice, compact, light, easily concealable, low caliber pistol.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I would have my katana, my SDC katana.
Okay.
By the way, that gun that I was showing you, showing the guide, is the TW Thunder gun, a 44 caliber.
Thunder, 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 thunder gun.
Do any of you want to wear your SDC armor?
Oh,
I kind of
yeah.
have to. That's my main.
Right. But I know you guys
Yeah.
were talking about wearing suits and stuff, so...
I'm not wearing a
Xavier's
suit.
not going to. Yeah, no. No,
I'll
I'll
wear a
be
suit.
wearing a business suit. I have 2 suits. The gray was pretending to be the cop, so I'll put on the black suit this time around.
Fancy.
I will put on my suit as well, so I won't have SDC armor.
Okay.
So, while everyone does a little bit of shopping and whatnot, we get ourselves acclimatized to Noble City. Say we meet at the place in about 90 minutes or so.
Sounds good.
Okay, great.
All right.
I'm going to meet the local flora and fauna. And by flora and fauna, I mean hopefully women named Flora and Fauna.
Right. So let's handle it like this. 90 minutes. What are you guys are kind of going in different directions, I think. What do each of you want to do?
I'm going clothes shopping.
I'm gonna go with Xavier. I really don't have anything to do.
Okay. I plan on just going to the place and schmoozing a little bit. Have a few drinks. Not too much. I don't want to be drunk or anything like that, but 1 or 2 should get me nice and, liquidated, for lack of a better word. And kind of just keep my ear to the ground, But this is mostly for fun. So it'll be mostly like flirting and that sort of stuff that we don't
Okay.
need to role play, but it's just general caddish behavior.
Right. Isaac?
He's just going to be putting on his suit, prettying himself up, and getting to the appointed place.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, then we can handle it very easily. Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
you find on Noble Station that there is not a lot in the way of shopping. It is a mining colony. There are a few clothing stores, and there's one clothing store in particular that has nice suits. However, these are suits cut and designed. Um, it's basically a nicer version of the mining uniform that this corporation wears. It is a suit, but it has the same tailor styling of a mining suit.
Hmm. Is there a prop store?
Roll me a D100.
Doop, 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 doop.
Yes, actually. You'd have to travel to the district, small though it may be, but there is a prop store, generally held so that families that live on the station can get things for, say, kids' birthday parties and the like. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to be looking for a captain's suit.
What kind of captain suit are we talking
Oh,
about?
Jesus,
Kangaroo,
why?
kangaroo or crunch?
Um, it's going to be as equivalent as like a one of those like shoulder bristles and like a whole bunch of like military
You
pins
mean
on the
like a
chest.
cavalry officer?
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There is a one solid white, like pure as snow, white Admiralty suit, which is meant as a joke or a costume. It has shiny gold lapels and buttons. It has the shoulder tassels, and it has one of those Napoleonic hats with the frill.
Excellent.
No, no, not excellent. Those aren't the right words for this.
Lucas will
You
have
know-
one of these, please.
I love how we keep telling him to tone it down and tone it down, and it finally goes in the complete opposite direction, where it's just completely white, so flamboyant. It's great. It's great.
Oh my gosh. All right. It's gonna be about 600 credits.
Pretty expensive for a novelty shirt, but I'll take it.
All right. They'll thank you for your business. um. So everyone else is headed to the place. Oh, Xavier,
Yeah.
is there anything? Yeah. Now I know you said you're just putting out feelers. You're trying to get.
Yeah.
What kind of information would you love to find?
Let's see here. There's so much information.
There is.
But first, I think it will be should focus zero in on our goal, right? So information, executive names in regards to this mining corporation that we're hoping to have a meeting with. It would be amazing if there was an executive currently at the place getting drunk. Or socializing that way. So that'll be the first thing I keep my feelers out to see if there's some sort of employee that is at least middle management, right? Not looking for a minor, not looking for a supervisor, looking for a bureaucrat.
Well, we can always ask the locals or the bartender about the clientele that comes through here, and if they in fact do come through here.
Well, I will tell you what you see and what you find when you get there.
Okay.
The place is, well, it's not the Explorer at all. It is smaller, less crowded, and less festive, I guess is what you would say.
It's a hole.
Yeah, This facility, but the miners they work hard. They're very tired. This is basically where they go to have a pint and relax from the day. It's not that it's a dirty or bad establishment. It's just it's a more subdued
It's
environment.
like the
Or
common. It's like the difference between an Irish pub and a lounge, right?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Roll me
Mhm.
a streetwise check, if you would, please.
Ooh. Okay. Let me look up my Streetwise, which recently was leveled up to now a whole 40. I almost have a 50-50 chance. I like
Oh,
it,
snap.
and I fail by 3.
It's not too bad though. All right. You don't find any executives or anything like that,
No.
but you do kind of cozy up
Mhm.
to a girl that was at the bar,
Uh huh.
who, after a drink and some conversation, you find
Mhm.
out that she's a secretary that works at the corporate offices.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice. Very nice.
Do you let drop that you're looking for work or anything like that?
I'll make. Not that I'm necessarily looking for work, but I will let drop that I have an exciting opportunity. You know, what I would want to try to do, and I'd like to try to weave this through conversation, right? So, like when I ask her what she does and what her days are like and that sort of thing, kind of keep an eye open about like her supervisor, right? So she says something like, "Oh, he was really on my butt." "Oh, really? What's his name? What's his deal?" That sort of thing. And then if she asks me what I'm doing, I'll introduce myself as still Xavier Anderson because I want to use my real name in this case, right? Because this is going to be something completely legal.
Hmm.
Which, by the way, I would probably say to Talavac and Isaac that for whatever we're doing, like if this is under our names and we have this legal enterprise, that will be a great thing for us, you know, as
Some
far as
credibility,
reputation goes.
yeah.
Exactly, as far as reputation goes. But introduce myself as my name, and say that, and I'll introduce myself as a intergalactic prospector, for lack of a better word. And I'll also drum up the rescue of those engineers too, the harrowing tale of the evil jungle snakes, the prehistoric, serpentine menace, and how we dispatched them and saved these poor engineers' lives.
Xavier,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
before you engage in this,
Uh-huh.
do you want us around, or do you want to take care
Not
of this?
the, you could be around in the place, but maybe not next to me while I'm schmoozing with this
Okay,
this
so
little
I'll
business.
be within visual range, but not near you. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what she thinks about lizard people.
When
That's
you
all.
tell the story, she's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, that sounds so exotic.
Oh God, yes, yes, it is.
You're one
Is
of
she
them."
is she a 40-year-old Jewish lady?
Barbara Streisand is the
I'm
reference.
sorry. I'm
She
just
said,
picturing her having
she
like
said,
big puffy hair and too much makeup.
Tootsie, Tootsie.
she says, "I wish more people like you worked for this corporation. It
Oh,
really adds some color to it."
oh, really? Well, I do love color. Well, what do you mean exactly?
Well, don't tell anyone I said this,
I won't. My
but
lips are
the
sealed.
corporate office has an hour with a walk-in policy every standard day around noon. The thing is, they
Mhm.
posted it in their office, but they never told anyone because they didn't want people actually coming in and talking to them.
Oh,
So while they're legally obligated to listen to anyone that comes, no one does because they don't know.
oh, that's awful. But okay, well, I promise I won't tell anybody. But that is pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
And she like pats you on the shoulder. So I was thinking,
Uh
you
huh.
said you're one of those exploring space people with an opportunity. You should tell them.
I think that is a fantastic idea. I am so glad I met you. I wouldn't have. You have brains and beauty.
She flutters her eyes over
Oh
the
boy.
lip of an alcohol, and I'm going to stop
Uh,
role playing there.
that's fine. Yeah, we don't need to go any further. Great, good. So please tell me it's not noon just yet.
uh, um, I don't have a mouse. I keep reaching for a mouse that I don't have. Hang on a second.
That would do it.
It is. It is noon. It is exactly
Wow.
noon.
Time
Wait,
to. Okay, so there'll be a perfect time to end this scene with me like talking with her, looking at my watch. It's noon exactly. My eyes go big, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta go. Space business. I'll see you later." And I'll call the other guys, but feel
Yeah.
free to roleplay with Isaac and Talavac too. But I think that'll be a great point to move on to the next scene with me being like, "Oh shit, we gotta go."
Make haste.
Yeah.
And Lucas, just so you know, it's noon right around the time he hears this, so you would have already gotten your suit and everything. So, because the assumption would be he's already been
Oh,
perusing
yeah.
the bar for an hour or two. So yeah.
Great.
All right.
All right, Isaac and Talavac, is there anything you guys wanted to do, or?
Well, if Xavier's running out there practically, then I'm
Oh.
going to follow.
Cool. I was thinking more. I was thinking personally, because like you said, it took about an hour or two for me to schmooze up and get this information, right? Anything that Talavac and Isaac would do in those few hours,
Right.
You know, not this very moment.
I'm just chilling out, just kind of like just small talk with Isaac, but that's about it, really. We got bigger, big things to do.
Fish
and
to
stuff
fry,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Uh, Isaac?
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
All
Just
right.
hanging out.
Then we'll say this. Lucas, was the intent after you got your suit to join them at the place?
Yes. Oh, sorry, Lucas. I'm not
Oh,
Lucas.
God.
Shut the fuck up, Inferno.
Oh,
I assume that he's planning to use this suit. He's not
Yeah.
just gonna go get it and be like, "Yep, I'm done. You guys have fun in that room."
Yeah. Okay, then we'll say this. As Xavier realizes what time it is, gets wide-eyed, excuses himself politely, motions for the other to walk towards the door, and begins to do so, Lucas walks in his new subtle business suit.
Jesus
well,
fucking-
it's not flashy.
we don't have time for him to change. Jesus Christ! It's Navy. I'll give you that.
All right, Lucas, you are an actor on break. Let's go.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh
What
God,
does
how
that
am I gonna
mean?
spin this? I don't know. But
I don't
dear-
know either. Let's go.
Yeah. So as we're walking hastily towards the corporate headquarters,
You might want to lose the hat.
Jesus, please lose the hat somewhere, and maybe don't take your Tommy gun in with you.
It was for protection, and I was always told that I could bring one.
Oh, God.
Talking about the hat? Please tell me he's talking about the hat.
So
It's up to interpretation.
yeah, it is. So as we walk, I say, "Okay, who wants to take point on this?
What do you mean?
Who wants to do the talking? I can do the talking. Maybe I should do the talking." He looks
do
over
it.
to Lucas.
I'm sorry. I can't stop looking at Lucas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe then I shall be the leader.
Well, yeah.
While you guys figure that out, I'm going to go grab a
Quickly,
drink. I'll be right
what-
back.
If I'm supposed to be the leader, what are we talking to them about?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, see? No. I'll do the talking, okay? You have no clue.
I still want to be clued in.
Oh, yeah, I'll clue in. But you mean you as Lucas wants to be clued in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm assuming it's going to be a bit of a walk, even though we're making great haste.
Mhm.
I'll say we're meeting with corporate. We have an hour window, probably less now, looking at his watch, that we can pitch new ideas and new discoveries to these executives, right? The idea is to sell them the rights to drop a contract for them to mine the minerals that we found, and we to get a percentage of it. That's the idea.
All right. So those rocks that we found floating around, we
Yep.
want to sell them those?
We sure do, and the very fact that you just called them rocks might prove that maybe you shouldn't be doing the talking.
So they're
It's
expensive
nickel.
rocks.
It's nickel.
All right.
It's a metal.
Okay.
Valuable.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Tons of it.
Lot. Okay. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is the planet.
Yeah, I know, right?
And
So
they want nickel.
I'm assuming we're gonna find out.
All right then.
What? Why do you think that's a nice suit? What is so nice? It is.
It is very, very clean. You see how white this is?
Well, you did say not too colorful, and white really is blank. I mean,
White is all the colors, technically.
Look, I want to give Lucas a little credit here for at least trying. At least, at least it's not like swirls or polka dots.
Yeah, it's not that. Jeez.
That'd be
just-
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Wear
oh,
a
yeah.
suit with those.
We would want to be ridiculous, would we?
Yeah.
Xavier says.
But not want to be ridiculous, right?
Listen, I'm just learning to get to know you guys. It's fine. This is the adjustment period. It's just most of the people in my line of work try not to be seen, and you do everything you can to be seen. There's an advantage in that. It's just normally against my grain, for lack of a better word.
Well, what do you think we should have Lucas do? He can't come into the office and talk business looking that way.
You can come into the office. I don't know if you should be doing any of the talking.
You should do a
though.
backstory.
Okay, let's play along. Yeah, what kind of backstory do you think?
Yeah,
Let's see. Maybe I come from a lineage of government officials,
Oh, okay,
whatever
all
we
right.
named.
Mm-hmm.
Like governor.
Oh, governor, or like, is your name gonna be governor?
Oh,
Is that your title?
governor. I could have it. I could get an accent,
Okay, let's put a pin in that. Let's keep going.
right?
Yeah.
So not the accent. Got it.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that should work.
Yeah, so maybe we were transporting you to here to Noble City because you had work to do as a dignitary or some such.
Dignitary. That's the word. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh no problem.
You also
Sorry
have
about that.
bureaucrat. You also have an inspector. You also have
Dignitary. Yeah.
Lucas, you know, it'd be funny.
Oh, tell me what's going to be funny.
Oh God, please don't.
What if
Lay
you
it on-
like used that rubber mask and made yourself look like that bartender back?
I don't know anything about the bartender. I already have a plan.
You do?
Oh God, what did I come back to?
Okay.
I'm a dignitary.
Sure is.
Foreign dignitary.
It
Oh,
sure
boy.
is.
Lucas is like a loot crate every month. You don't know what you get.
You don't know, God, do you ever not know? All right.
All right. Before we get started, just so you guys know, and as you know, my computer is borked, so I'm kind of jerry rigging all this. In about an hour and 20 minutes, I'm gonna have to end the session early, and I'm sorry, but I don't really have many choices.
All right.
But,
let's
still,
just
now,
use
yes.
the time that we got.
Let us do that. Yes. So, you guys are headed towards the corporate office, which is easy
Yes.
enough to find.
Mhm.
You can just ask directions; they'll give it to you. It's in the center of the station.
Great.
Around, say, 12:15, 12:20, you arrive at the corporate office. It's very white, very clean looking.
Yeah, well, it's gonna match one of our friends. It's gonna match him to a fucking T, so that's good. So
Camouflage.
maybe in my black suit, maybe I just prejudged a little bit.
You should have
Not.
had a white one.
Yeah, maybe. It's too late. Too bad we don't have time to change, do we, Lucas? Yeah.
as you guys walk through the door into the corporate offices.
Wait.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to, just before I enter, duck into a corner and change my facial features.
Okay.
He's going to change exactly one, and that is to make himself have a very distinct jaw. A very square, large jaw.
Bruce Campbell.
Or Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Deal with that.
Oh.
So you you step into. Actually, before you do this, Lucas, just roll me a straight D100 and choose high or low.
Well, let's go with low. Let's do a classic low. There you go.
All right. Well done. All right. You guys step inside. And as you step inside, there's a secretary at the front desk that says, "Oh yes, hi. May I help you?"
Oh, I certainly hope so. I believe we made it just in time. We're here to pitch a new project to the board here. And we were just hoping you could slot us in.
The secretary is not looking at you, but she is nodding along to what you say.
Looking at Lucas, you'll see that he's actually standing up very straight, looking slightly annoyed and generally doesn't want to be here while he's very lightly dusting off his front of his chest a little bit.
Xavier he'll take a look to Lucas and then he'll do a double take because he didn't look behind him when they entered. Do a double take and he'll say, "I'm sorry, Your Excellency. This shouldn't take very long. I appreciate your patience."
And he's correcting his suit.
The secretary says, "Your Excellency?"
Yes.
I'm a dignitary, close enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that we were receiving any dignitaries today. From what planet are you from, sir?
You might know me by my family name, the Bush family.
The secretary looks through her books again and says, I certainly don't have any record of anyone from a Bush family coming."
Of course you wouldn't.
Yes. Let's not concern ourselves with the Bushes in particular. He's just been so grateful to us to allow us some time so we could speak with with the leadership here. We have something very, very lucrative that I think they'll definitely want to hear.
Okay.
And as it is 12:27, we're still in that open window.
Oh, the open hour.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. Just one
we
second,
didn't.
sir.
Sure.
And she'll press a button and she'll be like, "Sarah, there's a dignitary from the Bush family to see you." And you hear an older, almost no nonsense voice going, "What? I have no records of the Bush family coming today. Tell them they'll have to make an appointment like everyone else. Sarah, it's open hour." Then you hear back, "Oh crap, I forgot about that." "Very well, send them in."
Thank you.
She will basically press a button, it'll buzz, and a little door next to her desk will open up and leading towards the back.
I'll put on a big fake smile and go right next to the door and say, "After you, Your Excellency."
I'll have a word with these. Let's just get on with it. And he's going to waltz in.
I bow like a servant should.
As Isaac passes by Xavier, he'll mouth, "What the fuck?" to him.
Isaac's just gonna shrug in response.
And I'll be the last to enter.
Xavier, you'll be amazed at what he can do in this. Just let him go.
Oh my gosh. So
boy.
you walk into the back office. It's a very fancy office, with not many wall hangings. There is at the back, there is obviously, there's a wall that's a full windowed wall that looks out over the rest of the city, and a semicircle desk made out of white marble, and an older woman, maybe in her mid 40s, who is dressed very properly. Her hair is in a very tight bun, and on her desk is a picture of three cats.
Mm-hmm. Space
Space
cats.
cats. Yes. Space cats.
Do they have any idea what they're doing?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
She
clear.
looks at all
I
of
don't know if they know
you,
what
and
they're
then her
doing.
eyes fall on Lucas, and she hesitates. Like she started to fold her hands on the table and have this no nonsense attitude, and then she sees Lucas, and she hesitates, and she says, "My secretary said you wanted to speak with me."
In short, I hope so, and I hope it'll be brief for both of our sakes, from what I've heard over the intercom. Let's get on with it.
Yes, of course, Your Excellency. You have to excuse me. I guess introductions are first in order. My name is Xavier Anderson. These are my companions, Talavac and Isaac Redfield. And of course, this is Excellency Bush. We, on our way to escort our diplomat to the other regions of space, we came across a very interesting astrological event that had to do with minerals. And we believe that we are the first to come across a very, very valuable site. And we would be interested in selling that location to your corporation.
Yes.
Mhm.
And she's hesitating as she's looking back and forth, and I'm going to need, Lucas,
Hmm.
do you have charm or intimidate skill?
I do.
Okay. I would like you both actually to roll
Mhm.
on your charm.
Before I roll, when I notice her always look at Lucas, I will say under my breath, it's best not to stare directly at the chin. He's quite self-conscious. And then I'll roll.
All right.
Oh!
I fail by one, but he succeeds.
Oh my
Dang it.
god.
Oh
And
my
I would
God.
like to use my intimidate for this one. Just as my presence.
Mm.
A cold blue steel stare goes over Lucas's face. He wants this over with, and he wants a deal.
Okay.
Awesome.
So her demeanor changes subtly. However, this is a demeanor that Lucas is all too familiar with. Her eyes, the more she looks at you, especially when you start looking more annoyed and self-important, her eyes get kind of smoky, and she crosses her legs and leans forward and says, "What family did you say you were from again?"
The Bush family. Looks like in this region they don't know of it.
I see. And I assume you're a very rich family.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, dear sweet space Jesus.
Are you trying to have me buy this out?
No, you idiot. She's hitting on you.
She takes off her glasses and puts them on the desk and leans back and says, "No, sir, I would never dream of that. What was this deal you spoke of?" And she's speaking to Xander, but she's not looking at Xander.
Xander? I don't know. Who's Xander?
Xavier, sorry, Xavier.
That's okay.
This fine gentleman was close to my region. Or at least our region. I'm not a leader, as most people mistake, but that's okay. We struck a small deal between us, and now, as a group, we are coming to you for the deal. We do not usually trade in materials. I think a mining station would probably be more beneficial for such things.
Of course. Why don't you have a seat? My secretary will bring you refreshments. Do you guys drink anything? And she looks at Lucas. Something strong?
I think I will.
Please bring your finest.
Xavier Xavier will smile a little bit and he'll be like, "Yes, he's a very distinguished man after all."
So you sit down, and the secretary brings you all space scotch.
Space scotch. Scotch in space. All right, that
And
works for me.
after everyone has a drink, the Sarah leans forward again and says, "So, about this deal, you said that you want to move some sort of product?"
No, no, no. We don't want it. We could have been doing the moving, but the quantity is just so vast that it's not really practical in our point of view. What we feel is that if we approach an institution such as yours that is experienced in this, we could draw out some sort of, I guess you could say, understanding, contractual understanding, in which we would give you the location for a very, very small percentage and have you reap the very, very tangible material rewards. Now, we're not talking about gaseous minerals. We're talking about something a little bit more solid on the periodic table.
I I'm not good at word games. Speak plainly. What is it you're
We
hoping to?
found a planet surrounded by pure, uncut nickel.
Perhaps
Would you like to
billions
know
of
where it
tons.
is?
She pauses with her mouth open a little bit. I don't understand. How does a planet have pure nickel orbiting it, I guess you were saying?
See, unfortunately, I can't go in too much more detail because if I were to tell you exactly how, uh, individuals could scan for such a spatial anomaly and find it on their own. Suffice to say, on the honor of Dignitary Bush, that what we say is very, very true. We wouldn't be wasting your time otherwise.
Is this nickel... No, let me start again. Assuming you're correct or
Mm-hmm.
being honest, and
Mm-hmm.
she looks at Lucas, I'm sure you are,
Mm-hmm.
we might be able to do business.
Wonderful.
What would you be looking for?
Well, we would ideally we be looking for a percentage of all profits, all net profits, all net gains on this ore that's mined from the planet or around the planet, I guess we should say. That's salvaged. Regardless, we would think a very modest percentage of 5% would be very, very applicable.
She smiles a bit and says, again, assuming you're correct in that
Mm-hmm.
there is billions of tons of this,
Mm-hmm.
it would take an enormous investment to reap the rewards, as you say. I can't see my corporation being willing to, well, normally, they might give you some sort of finder's fee and send you on your way.
Yes,
But
yes,
given
I would.
how dignified your
Mm-hmm.
company is and how distinguished the Bush family is, I'm sure, I might be able to convince them 1% on one condition.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking straight at Lucas when she says this. You, sir, would have to come collect the funds whenever you wish to make your withdrawal. You understand for bookkeeping purposes.
I'll look over sharply.
For I do not like all of my time being invested being the carrier for this money. Would 2% be okay with you?
May I offer a suggestion, perhaps? Say we solidify sales on a percentage number. Exactly how the money is transferred might be up for debate. Dignitary Bush here does value his time quite a bit, but I'm sure if you guys spoke about it over dinner, perhaps another arrangement could be made.
She leans forward and says, I believe you have it reversed. The percentage is up for debate. But him coming to get the money absolutely is not.
Why not?
She looks to you and then looks back to him and then says, I have my reasons. She sits back in her chair again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am very, very sorry, Your Excellency. I guess we did waste your time.
She leans forward again and actually puts a hand on Lucas's hand and says, Oh, I promise you, sir, your time will not be wasted.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What will our crew settle with? Because I do not feel comfortable tripping and being the carrier for 1%.
I don't understand why, I personally don't understand, Your Excellency, why they couldn't arrange some sort of a digital transformation of money.
Now, Lucas will hold up his hand. No, no, no. We're negotiating the percent here. How much?
She sighs a little bit and she says, Obviously, it's very clear that a personal transaction is somewhat of an inconvenience. Digital transactions are so secure these days. 2%, I think we might be able to do.
Can I do a basic math check? And
Sure.
I want to factor in the amount of nickel that we estimate is around there, the average price for it, and what 2% of that would be. Like, I want to know what our take would be per percentage.
Yes.
Average price, if I recall correctly, was
10K.
1,000 a ton.
10,000 a
10,000 a
ton.
ton.
Right.
Um,
And if you assume even that there'd be, say, let's be conservative and say 50,000 tons that could be mined from it. That's conservative. Let's say 50,000 tons within, say, the next year or two.
Okay.
So then,
If it was 1% of that.
1%?
2%.
I want to know what
2%.
1% is first. And what's 2%?
1% is 5 million.
So it's
2% is 10 million.
10.
Yep.
So this gets us 10 million.
This
But-
would be 10 million a year.
This is Xavier's concern. Okay, and I'll say this out of character. Dignitary Bush is bullshit. He is fake. We do not want him coming back because there's no validation. Whether it'll be a personal transaction or not, this is a corporation. They're going to put two and two together. We need legal names on a contract and a legal bank account for it to be transferred into.
Well, I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
So that's why Xavier is so insistent on some sort of digital transfer. Because the Charm Magnet here has fucking shot ourselves in the foot. Sure, we can get 2%, but how are we actually ever going to collect on it? He just made this guy up.
I did say that this was a joint
Venture,
thing,
yeah.
venture, and this could be a joint account.
Well, just so you guys know, again, a little bit of knowledge of how the world works. Contracts are binding. Once a contract is signed, a contract is signed.
Yeah.
But-
So we need the right person signing it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So your name can't be on it here at all, Mr. Bush, because you're not real.
Excellency, Bush.
Yeah, sorry.
That is an interesting point. Hang on, guys. I gotta go grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
You guys can debate.
sure.
All right. Look at it this way. A digital transfer should be no problem. We're dealing with space here. They
Yeah.
have to have something like that.
Yeah, she just wants to get in your pants. So this is what we do. All right? She
the
says
deed.
she
deed.
says it's not negotiable. You work your fucking charm on her. You screw her brains out if you have to, and you convince her on a digital transfer. That's the only way this is going to work.
You better shine up your septum, my excellency.
Shine up your scepter.
Make sure that golden rod is gleaming.
God, this is going to sap my pee so much.
Hey, just be glad it'll sap your PPE, homie. And not
Oh,
anything
Jesus.
else.
Oh yeah, and by the way, after this, we're coming out of this with 7 million, not 10, because
Oh.
the cut for
Of
off.
course.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
still,
fine.
I mean,
It's
shit.
still.
We just cut the overhead. That's all, and just.
So I say we agree with the two, and I suggest, Xavier will suggest again having a private dinner with His Excellency and Sarah, and we'll probably lean on you at that point, being like, "Listen, you're not real. You have to convince her to have a digital transfer with our names on it."
I'm back.
Okay,
All right.
Back.
Do you guys have a plan of action, or?
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe, interrupt me if I'm wrong, but the idea is this. We're going to accept the 2%, of course, and we're going to suggest that Lucas and Sarah, have a celebratory dinner.
Uh-huh.
And Lucas and Sarah will talk about all sorts of things. That's the plan. We'll have to
Okay.
see if she wants to have dinner with Ambassador Chinface.
Okay. All right. So going back, she'll. I assume you guys talk quietly,
Yeah.
and then come
Yeah.
back, and she says, "So, are my terms acceptable?"
2% most certainly is, and I don't see any sort of glaring problems. Obviously, it'll take some time to go over the particulars, drop the contract, everything like that, but we're all generally quite happy with the way things have worked out. I suggest that, do you know a good place to eat? Sarah?
She says, "Yes, I know the finest establishment in Noble City."
Ah, I see. Well,
Apartment.
we're a little too bourgeoisie to dine somewhere else, but I'm asking for the sake of His Excellency. Would you mind doing us one other small favor then? And then he'll kind of lean over a little bit and whisper and be like, His Excellency requires fine company and fine entertainment. Would you be willing to take him out on the town, show him the higher ends of Noble City?
She looks at dignitary Bush and leans forward and she says, "Well, in the interest of business, I'm sure I can make the time."
Much
Lucas,
appreciated.
you feel a shoe running up your shin.
Oh no.
Dude, work it. Work it. Remember that adventurer who fell in love with you? I don't know what you
No,
have. You have
it's
like insane charisma. I don't mean like really high charisma. I mean you attract crazies.
Hmm.
don't I know it
Lucas?
anyway?
Lucas is not an actual human being. He is a amalgamation of just pure charisma and magical energy. That's literally it.
And he has a strong jaw.
Well, for now. Wonderful.
So, knowing this feeling quite well,
Yeah, rub it
luckily
in.
this isn't a dude this time.
Wait, this time? Wait, who did it last time to you? Oh, wait, you're just making a joke. Okay.
He tries not to break character from the sudden jolt, even though this is fairly common for him. He's going to take a small, like a small surprised hop. You know how people like just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then he's gonna go. He's gonna clear his throat, adjust himself a little bit, sit properly again, and and show in kind, I guess.
All right. She will say, "Okay, then how about this? I'll have my secretary draw up the contract. She looks to Xavier, will provide her with the coordinates, and then this evening we will, you and I, Your Excellency, will sign it."
Uh, seems like a fair idea. Would if because I imagine you will be just poring over the contract before you sign it, of course, both yourself and the Excellency. Would it be fair that if there were any sort of adjustments, if they were made on the physical contract itself and then signed and initialed, that be still legally binding?
Yes, we here have a system where the entire contract is kept in a digital format so that we can make changes that are agreed upon at that moment.
Wonderful. Well, you have to understand, for the sake of a business as well, I'll be giving most of the coordinates to you, but maybe we'll wait until giving the final three coordinates until everything is fine and dandy.
She shakes her head and she says, "That's not quite how it works. However, I'm sure you'll find how we do things more agreeable. I will draw up a quick contract right here and now. You give me the coordinates. If the contract falls through or we turn out to find nothing, either way, we give you a finder's fee of 50,000 credits."
See, this is where I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Because you can always say you didn't find anything, and then you'd be getting a discounted rate.
She shakes her head and goes, "That's the point of the contract. If we, at this point, after that contract, were to try and claim it as our own, you could simply bring your signed contract to the CCW, and, well, Noble City would not want such actions."
A word, Xander. I kind of tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss this for a moment. Give us another few minutes. And
Of
we'll pull
course.
off
Yeah.
ourselves to talk. Yes?
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe we should be present when her crew arrives at the field, and there will be no doubt that we will both know that it exists.
Listen, guys. I know the way these corporate types tend to do business is a little bit different than how I do my own personal business. But as a general rule of thumb, you don't give away your product before you get paid.
No, no, no. I mean, if you're worried about them trying to scam us, which corporations tend to do,
They might.
then we need to make sure that there's no doubt that exists. And
Here's my concern. The
mhm,
second I those write down those coordinates,
mhm.
they have the information they need. They don't have to pay us a dime, and they'll use all sorts of legal work in order to do so. So I'm going to pitch a different idea to her, which is we sign the contract and I give them the coordinates, right? If the coordinates turn out to be bunk, then they can fine us 3 million credits. And then after that's agreed, then I give them the coordinates. It
Well,
protects them and it protects us.
whatever you see best.
Isaac Lucas? Or Your Excellency?
Mhm.
This conversation. I'm busy with
Yeah,
with foot games
you
at the
eye
moment.
screw her. You eye screw her and footer. I'm Isaac.
So, what you're saying is we're going to sign the contract anyways, but if it's bunk, then
Okay, you know what?
we're going to pay 3 mil, and they're not going to pay up front or anything.
I am just so confused with what she talked about. So let's just talk it from players to GM, okay?
Okay.
Because
What
from
she,
what she okay, you talk first.
all right. What she was offering was basically a contract where you both sign this contract stating that you will give her the coordinates, and whether the contract you follow through on or not, basically you give her the coordinates, and from that time on, either she honors the contract you guys are writing for the 2%, or they give you a finder's fee for 50,000. The idea was that once that contract's signed, you give them the coordinates. Then they start working out the big to-do contract. And that way, in case any funny business goes on, you still have an official contract stating you gave them this information. This was not theirs to begin with.
I think this overcomplicates things. Frankly, I think that they should, because this is our objective in this, is to change that contract from saying a personal pickup to a digital transfer of money into an account. That is our goal. That is what we want, right? So I think it's easiest if they just bring the contract to dinner with them. I tell Lucas the coordinates, and when they sign it, he gives it to her. And the idea is that Lucas seduces her or convinces her to change her mind from the personal transaction to the digital one.
Yeah, and we don't have to roleplay this. They'd probably be acceptable with that. They would also probably throw in a clause, kind of like what you said, of if the coordinates are null and void, if the coordinates are not what they were said to be, the contract would be null and void, and you'd be charged a service fee. It wouldn't
Of
be like
course.
3 million. It'd be like
Okay.
25,000 credits or something.
Yeah, either way, for wasting their time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
That is
It,
doable.
it would make sense that there be such a clause, right? That's why we want to deal with a corporation and not like some shady guys in the back alley, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
It just occurred to me that dealing with a fictional contract is just as complicated as a real one.
It
Yeah,
can be.
Mm-hmm.
It can
That
be, yeah.
was kind of the point.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Trust me, I
so
was not trying to streamline.
so
this.
let's role play that because I don't want to have two contracts and one cancels out the other and then we can redact it and all this other shit. Let's just make it simple.
Well, if you want, I mean, we don't have to unless you want to. Since we already kind of agreed that you'll meet at dinner, we don't have to role play that
let's
again
let's
unless you
save
feel.
that.
Yeah,
No.
right. Okay. Then she would basically bite on the tip of her glasses and say, "Then I will see you at dinner, Your Excellency."
Okay. Great. We'll leave the office. Well, Xavier will leave the office. I can't speak for everyone else.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I
Takes,
follow as well.
It takes a little while to untwine from her legs.
I can imagine. I can
Scissor
imagine.
lock.
Oh
And
gosh.
then before he exits the door, he'll be like, "See you at dinner," and then leave.
You rolled low on the D100 to determine if the corporate person was a guy or a girl, and you killed the charisma check.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hmm.
All right. Is there anything you guys would like to do before dinner?
Yeah, I want to vet Lucas. So first things first,
We gotta prep him.
Xavier isn't too prideful. He will acknowledge that thanks to whatever Lucas did, he gained us an extra percentage out of all this, and we might have this lady in his pocket, so to speak. I mean, that's just acknowledging talent, I guess.
Okay.
He's gonna put a hand on his shoulder and be like,
Uh-huh.
"It's more of a curse, but it's fun."
Okay.
I take it we're out the building
Yes.
now, right?
Oh,
All
completely.
right. All right, Lucas. We've only completed one half of your task.
Yes. And it's at this point where my character will be like, listen, this Bush guy doesn't exist. You can't have her just hand over the money to you because they're going to find out that you're fake, right? They're a corporation. So, Lucas, your job, if you choose to accept this, your mission, is to convince her to change it. What we're going to do is while you get prepared and everything like that, we're going to create a bank account, a business bank account, okay? Well, I'll tell you the name right now. What should be our name? Starlock Enterprises?
That's as good as any.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Starlock Enterprise. All right. We're going to start up. We're going to make that bank account, and we're going to give you that information, okay, along with the coordinates to where this mineral, this nickel is, right? And your job is to convince her for them to wire the profits of our 2% into the Starlock Enterprises account because you are a busy man. You don't have time for this, right? And you'd be very
Telling her that,
appreciative.
but she doesn't believe me.
I can trust you. You'll find a way to convince her. You will find a way, right? And Xavier will lean in a little bit, be like, and let nothing hold you back. All right?
Nothing.
Just make her happy.
Whatever she wants you to do or to her.
Yep. Just make her happy. Make her happy, and we'll have 10 million credits, 7 million after pause cut. But still.
You're not talking about
Mhm.
animal balloons, are you?
If that's what she wants,
If that's
If that's
what
what
she
she
do
wants,
it.
then that's what she gets.
But I'm thinking more of a
Kinky.
carnal type of balloon. Yeah. Either one. Kinky, yeah. But that will be your job. Lucas, do you accept this mission that we have asked upon you?
I can see us all standing around you nodding in, like, yes, yes, yes.
Do it.
You know, this is the first time a group has actually wanted me to do this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. This is a time of firsts.
I believe we're going to be fast friends.
If you get us 7 million credits every time you bang someone, I will love you forever. Xavier
I love me
says.
too. That'd be great.
Okay, Xavier will laugh and slap him on the shoulder. Okay, time for us to make this account. Of course, Lucas, maybe you should come with us. Maybe without the chin, though. Because we want
That's
all
true.
our names to be equal business partners of Starlock Enterprise, right?
Of course.
So
Put
let's-
my name down is Lucas.
Yeah, but you'll have to be present, right? You'll have to provide identification. You are who you are. We can't just put your name and be like, yeah, we want to sign up for account. Plus this guy, Lucas, trust me, we know him. He's a cool guy. Like, you need to be present when we make the account.
I don't think I mentioned a first name to her.
No, I know. No, it'll be okay. She won't know you're Lucas. But for us to make the account, you need to come with us. As
You need to be legit for the account.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right, so that's our next job, Squeeze. We want to make a business account.
Uh,
All right. There is I can't look it up right now because I don't have the book, but there is a bank. There's several banks, obviously, in the three galaxies, but most banks are local in nature, either to one planet or a certain group of planets, because in order to have an interstellar bank, the amount of capital you need to have would be obscene.
Yes, of
But there
course.
is one big bank that is almost everywhere in the three galaxies, and it is also considered the most secure.
Great.
They would obviously have a branch on Noble City. You can go
Awesome.
there to make your business account if you choose.
Awesome. We sure do.
Business account is it's not hard to open up. You need to keep an annual balance of like 200,000 credits, or you have to pay a surcharge every month, et
Okay.
cetera, et
Ah,
cetera, et
That won't
cetera.
be a
you have to
problem.
have a minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Great.
Oh, and they point out that the basic business account that you're opening does not make interest.
That's
No,
fine.
we'll make our own interest.
Trust me, well, things will be plenty interesting. I'm sure she probably has never, or he has never heard that joke before. But that's fine. We just need a place to dump this money into.
They are good for that. One of the most secure banks in the world.
Great.
World's.
This world.
This one
Just
world is
this
very
one.
secure because everything's gas, so it's hard to steal from gas. Anyway.
um, so you guys have time for dinner. I know you had other things on your to-do list. You definitely have time to get them done before.
Oh, great. We do want to get that wire for at least the day for the engineers.
Mm-hmm. That would be 5,000 credits, I think I said.
You said 3.
Oh, so 3,000. Yes, 3,000, 30,000 for the total ship. So,
Yeah.
your choice, 3,000 or 30,000. Now, just so you know, you're gonna need the wire to repair the ship sooner or later, either way.
So I say we just give them the 30,000 then. What do you guys say?
Go for it.
Sure.
Unless
We're
we
gonna be
get
making.
Excuse me, I tried to hit the mute and missed.
It's fine.
Sorry.
It's a drop in the bucket compared to what we're going to be making, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Besides, it takes credits to make credits.
Starluck Enterprises. Sorry, I can see Burn. We can all see Burn. Type that
Hi.
out. Sweet.
All right. So the wire is easy enough. Just deduct 30,000 from your group loot. You also said you wanted to look into something perhaps you could ship back to Frontier.
That's right. Are we still up with that idea, guys?
I've totally forgot about that.
Sure. I mean, that's something that my fellow can do. It just, there's always buy, sell. Even if it's just a courier fee, you know what I mean?
Right.
There might be something that wants to be couriered.
As much as I would like to get into like the nitty gritty of this particular job, I think we should just go ahead and just load up something quick, bring a party favor back, and then.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You'd find it very easily enough that, especially in this station, their primary export is noble gas.
Okay.
They sell it cheap. They sell it to freelance suppliers. The only thing with this method is, while they'll let you know that almost everyone needs noble gas if they have neon lights or light fixtures of that kind, which would include most space stations that obviously don't have a natural light source. You have no idea what the going prices would be for, say, Frontier or any other space station. So
Okay.
it's sold cheaper here than anywhere else. So there's
Uh-huh.
almost always going to be a profit, but you have no idea how much.
Is there any way to contact Frontier Station from here?
Don't we have Sparkbot?
Yeah, true. We have him too.
Yes. I forget exactly how communication works in Three Galaxies, but as on a station that large, I'm sure you could find a way to contact Frontier, though you'd have to specify who you're contacting.
Paw? No, we don't want to bother him every time we have something to ship.
Yeah.
We have millions of credits. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, it's a yearly.
Okay, the alternative over this being gas people is just to do a courier job of somewhere going in the same direction that we're going to be going, a quick drop off, quick credits, you know what I mean? It could be
Yeah.
10,000, it could be 5,000, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be big, it just doesn't waste our time, you know what I mean? So we can just, maybe we'll look for courier services, right? Because we got a fast ship.
Yeah.
There.
If
Yeah,
it goes to
there's-
Frontier Station, that's great. If it just goes nearby Frontier Station, that's fine.
Well, I will say that there's not much nearby Frontier Station. Paul kind of likes it that way. However, you have two other options.
Okay.
The first option I listed was for a freelancer that just buys noble gas and sells basically on his own.
Yep.
There are also established trade routes between, say, Frontier Station and Noble City, as with most space stations. These are contracted prices. They do from time to time hire freelancer couriers at a fixed rate.
Okay.
And then the last option would be to look for passengers that are looking for passage to Frontier or around Frontier. But other than that, Noble City really they only have one main export, which is mining gases. So
You could do passengers, I guess.
Do we really want to be a taxi service?
No, not really.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking?
I don't know.
Lobster steak.
You know what? I'm more interested, honestly. I am more since we only have a half hour. I'm more interested in the resolution of the dinner with Sarah.
Yeah.
Did I say
yeah.
we don't worry about it for right now?
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
go
you
back
can
with
always-
nothing, that's fine. If we
We'll pin
decide
that
to
to
do
the
something
board, yeah.
afterwards, yeah, exactly.
yeah, you guys, we can always figure it out, even during the week in between sessions if you want.
Sure.
That won't be a problem.
Okay.
All right, so we'll skip ahead till say 7 in the evening or so. Lucas, you're giving an address to the finest establishment on the station.
He's also been given our account details for Starluck Enterprises and the coordinates to where we found that nickel.
Is it luck or lock?
Luck, I thought. Luck.
Luck.
It could
Yeah,
be
that's
lock.
All right.
I like luck.
Okay, cool. Me too.
Yeah.
We need it.
We got
Yeah.
we got lucky and we got this thing. So
Oh yeah, we got lucky by a star. I love it. It was planet
Yeah,
luck, but
good.
still.
All right.
All right. You follow the address. Oddly enough, it's not going through any business or entertainment sectors. It takes you to the fancier side of the station, and you end up in front of an apartment door.
This isn't where food is.
Nope.
This
We're
is-
not here,
this
but
is
I
where
want to
people
still.
live.
Yep.
We gave you a pat on the back and sent you on your way.
Yep. Really, remember 7 million credits.
And he goes, "Watch the suit," getting into his character.
Okay.
And he's going to, if anybody actually stares at him while walking away, he's going to stroke his chin and it's slowly going to grow out.
Okay. Do you knock on the door or?
Yes.
You hear a familiar voice of Sarah say, "Come in." And the door opens, and you're immediately hit with a delicious smell of some sort of pasta dish, space pasta dish. It smells like a slightly seafoody, but in any case, it does smell high quality. I can't tell you if it smells delicious or not. That's kind of up to your character, but it smells of high quality food stuff.
Smelling the scent of seafood, he's going to then ponder, I wonder if she has food or if she's naked at the moment. Either could be a very strong possibility.
The answer, which is quickly revealed when she shows up wearing a red silk dress that's rather low cut, but certainly on her body. And she says, "Oh, Your Excellency, it's so good of you to come."
Give it time.
I am not going to roleplay this evening because
What do you mean, madame? Is it just the straight sex then? Okay.
Oh, oh my god.
I think that's the first time ever a GM has to say I didn't say that in character. Oh my god. Okay. How about we do it like this? Lucas, why don't you tell me how the general course you want this evening to take as you try to enact your plan?
First, I'd like to get some food in my belly. That'd be
Okay.
good.
That would happen, yes.
After that's done, see how she's doing. She's probably pretty good at the moment. Then I'm going to ease in how much I'm so busy at the moment. And also in the future, and really like something a bit more direct. Now, I would probably point out to cut to the chase that we both know that this is not for a business deal and for something else. We should keep them separate. So I would have more freedom with my time, and we can meet in other places.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Okay. Calculating the fact that there's some alcohol involved with this. Give me a charisma check.
You keep giving me charismas.
I know.
I succeed
Oh my god.
by 42.
Oh my god.
God
Okay.
can't help you now. Lucas rolls well.
She understands, and at first when you start going into how busy you are and how you'd like another arrangement, she starts looking very upset. When you get into the but you want to keep business and pleasure separate, so to speak, she her eyes kind of light up a little bit. She says, well, surely you understand that such adventure poses a considerable risk to my organization and to myself personally. If I give you 2%, perhaps you're right. Perhaps you are too busy to come here. That was unfair of me to ask. Perhaps I could come see you and personally transfer the credits.
Don't
Lucas
back
has
down,
been
Lucas.
told that they want a digital
We need it.
means and almost in automatic terms.
Mm-hmm.
And would probably go again towards, if you just wanted to see me, I can have that arranged. But I'd rather not have such a set schedule because of how busy I am.
She will then kind of drop the wordplay, so to speak, and point out that if it's not for the money, she has no guarantee that you'll come back to see her.
So you gotta give her a guarantee.
I see.
Ow. Alright,
By the
my
way,
ears.
there are 3 cats roaming around.
In the apartment or just...
Yes, in the
They're
apartment.
you. They're crawling over you.
You got a turban on your head.
How could I assure her, besides my word, which seems to be
Not
working,
enough.
but not working as well as I'd hope it to be? She does not trust me like this skill says it does.
You're overanalyzing.
Perhaps it's that she's older than your usual. more wily in her ways.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
asking us as your fellow players what you could do?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to ask
Yeah.
out of character.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I haven't done this in the real world.
okay, so what can you do to assure a fine, fine lady that you ain't just a playa, you'll come see her all the time? Well, ooh, give her a way of communication with you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? If you ever miss the sound of my voice, ever, like, come up with a way to, like,
Your phone number.
kind of like a phone number, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That would help, I think, quite a bit. You could make up. You could make up and say, well, let's schedule in our next, 5 engagements. You know what I mean? Who says you have to actually go to them?
Sure. I think that might be the wise, but I think even if I go like, here's my next engagements that I am going to see you, she seems to need something a bit more. She wants
Tangible.
a chain.
Okay. Yeah. So give her, like, for lack of a better word, an intergalactic phone number, right? And then just screw her friggin' brains out, and then she'll be happy.
And she's a businesswoman, so she's going to be in control. So if she wants handcuffs, you say yes.
DM,
So-
Yes.
DM, can we retcon? I would have given him a pair of handcuffs if needed.
I think
A
as
pair. I thought you said those were for business.
Oh yeah, this is business
Right
We're
now-
getting this shit, man.
This is about
Come on.
credits.
We're
Credits
making
are on the
10 million.
table.
This is a business deal, and I'm
He's
about
on the
to seal
clock,
it.
man.
Oh my god. Yes,
That's
we can retroact it when you pimped Lucas out.
Sure.
You made sure to give him the proper tools of the trade. Yes.
she's got a toy box, believe me, she's got a toy box.
Anywho.
Yeah, besides the gadgets and gizmos that I've freaking brought over.
No, all I can think about is how else can anyone communicate with people in the galaxy? You know what I mean? Like, that's all you can actually give her. You can give her nothing else. So you have to see if it works. The other suggestion is if she becomes insistent, then you play hard to get. Listen, we have an option of either sign this contract or not sign this contract. If we don't sign the contract on our terms, we are fucked, right?
Yeah.
If we at least don't sign the contract, we can go somewhere else with it, you know?
Right. There are other planets.
Exactly. There are other Sarahs.
Lucas is going to try his hardest to try to give her the clearance of mind that he will come back. And trust me, I don't think Lucas really would want to double cross such a thing, generally because it's a lot of money and this is going to be fun.
Your persuasion check was really, really good. So we'll say
I can give her phone number and dates. Now, I have to check these dates.
she would be willing to accept that. I think mostly for the phone number. It would be some sort of technological device that would contact. You don't have
Would
a
it just be
pocket computer,
frequent?
do you?
Would it just be like a frequency sort of thing?
Wait a second.
Hey, baby, what's your frequency?
No. Here's what she would do. Lucas,
Put a
you don't
tracker
have
on you.
you don't have a pocket computer, do you?
I have, I don't have a computer, but I do have a sketch pad.
No. She would.
Oh, that'll do it.
That'll work.
She would go into one of her drawers and she would pull out a pair of pocket computers that are incredibly fancy. They look like something that's flashy just because you're rich and it can be flashy more than it really needs to be. It's painted bright blue and gold. And
Perfect.
she gives it to you, and she says that this computer is linked directly to mine so that I can call you whenever I want.
Booty
Take that
call!
with you, and you'll have your 2%.
Sweet, a computer. Lucas says in his own mind.
Okay,
10
good.
million and a computer. Awesome.
And he will then go, I will carry it with me always. With the
Conviction.
deep stare.
Mm.
And lean in. And it is something else that happens, I don't know.
Yeah, stuff happens. You guys sign a contract. Congratulations, you got your 2%.
I want to just say this I'll say it in character later on, but I'll say it out of character right now. You know the best thing about this is? This is highly unethical.
Yeah.
We could blackmail her at some point if we want to. But what has just gone on right now, what we just role played, is incredibly unethical in business, which is awesome.
Can I ask a question? Does this make Lucas a gigolo?
Makes us all gigolos, dude.
No, I think that makes you the pimps and him the gigolo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. Okay.
Oh, I wanted this to be a pimp suit.
It can be your pimp suit if you want. It is all
Yeah,
white and fancy.
you know,
You have a
actually-
big frilly hat.
Actually, Lucas, I think it is fair to say that you also did kind of pimp yourself. So
Alright.
you're all pimps. Happy?
Yay!
Kind of. We should have called it. We should have called it Space Pimp Enterprises.
The scepter is gleaming.
All right. Anywho.
Oh God, is that the new name of our ship? The Space Pimp?
No, that's
No.
ridiculous.
No.
By
Hey,
the
listen.
way,
If we're not going with the Explorator,
how long was this
Excursionist.
particular visit? This is important.
5 minutes. 5
Oh.
minutes.
this is important. Squee.
The actual Act 2.
Wait.
I can only keep up my chin for so long.
You gotta give
Yes.
his chin a rest, dude. Tell him how long he's got a chin music for.
Gosh. You know what? I would say that by halfway through the night, she is so plastered that at one point she's like, your jaw. Nah, just. As long as you leave before she wakes up.
No, it's
Oh,
not like it
wait.
would wear off directly in front of her. It'd more
Right.
like I would have to keep using the magic over and over again. And if needed, politely excuse himself.
Okay, then we'll say you had to do it twice before she was so drunk she couldn't tell the difference.
Like
Give
duck
us-
under the table to like grab a spoon or something and then quickly
Yes.
do that.
Yes, to grab a spoon.
Mhm.
All right, hang on, give me a second. Yep, Lucas.
Yeah.
She was pretty good.
Average. Average.
Okay.
No.
Let's not, guys. Let's.
She's experienced, okay?
Let's acknowledge. Let's acknowledge the beauty that is, carnal love, and not reduce it down to a number. Okay. I think all these fictional people require respect.
So
Did she like the cuff squeeze? She
yes,
just
she
told me
liked.
this-
She liked.
Fantastic.
Bow, chicka,
You
wow,
might not want
wow.
these cuffs back.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
So, you sign the contract. The contract is yours. The next,
Sweet.
how do you want to leave? Like, obviously, eventually she would fall asleep. Do you want to slip out or?
Out of a window early in the morning. That's how you do it.
Like a class act.
Oh, how would Lucas depart like he usually does? No, he couldn't do that. He needs to stay in character.
Leave her a balloon animal.
I was actually thinking of leaving her a stick of gum. Like, I have to stick. There is no way that would fly.
That's what he usually does.
That's his calling
animal.
card for the most part.
Nice.
Make a balloon animal of yourself with that giant chin.
With the piece of gum in its hand.
Or in its mouth.
Yes.
That might actually be
That might-
adorable enough that I might actually try to do that.
Yeah.
God. Roll me a balloon check.
Things you never thought you'd say as a GM. Roll me a
I succeed.
No!
I
So-
have a very nice, distinct chin on this one.
With a little piece of gum in his little balloon hand.
I'm
Oh
just
my
gonna make
gosh.
it, like the head, and then stick a gum in it between his lips.
Oh God, no. Okay. All right. So you're able to leave the hostile area and return to the group and let them know. So There
Lucas,
you
my
go.
boy! Excellent! Excellent!
I take it things
Wasn't
went well,
easy.
Lucas?
She wasn't easy.
Mm-hmm.
She would not stop for the longest time. But
But
we got it. And I got this nifty computer. She might call me on it.
hey,
But
whatever arrangements you
shiny,
did, we at Starluck Enterprises appreciate your devotion to the cause. Xavier says.
Yeah.
Well done, Lucas. Well done!
I say we actually, I'm assuming the same bank that we got this from probably has security boxes. I say we put the contract in the security box, right? In case we ever need to go back to it. But
Yeah. I
soon
would do
we'll
that.
see our account fill right on up, which will be great.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Ah,
Would that be safe to say that we can open up a safety deposit box?
yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's easy enough to do.
And to be clear, in case it ever comes up later, the contract was actually signed with Starluck Enterprises. So now that the contract is solid in your hand, it doesn't matter who's a part or who isn't a part of Starluck Enterprises. As long as you can prove that you are that company, the contract is valid.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
And Xavier will happily say that, this is a fantastic first outing. Not only are we going to score ourselves 10 million credits in the long run, but we have ourselves an established front company, right?
Mhm.
Regardless of what we decide to do, we, as Xavier, Lucas, Isaac, and Talavac, are legal business owners.
I got it! We
Mhm.
can call the ship the Starlock!
Yeah.
Yeah!
I like that.
Works for me.
Uh-huh.
The SS Starluck.
Yes!
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now that's how you earn a name.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Are you down with
Lucas is
it,
just
Lucas?
getting a bigger and bigger smile on his
Cool.
face.
Great. So there we are. So I say we fly the Starluck back to Frontier, gear her up as she needs, and hunt us down some pirates, because we did promise Paul we'd do that, and we're going to earn ourselves another 3 million credits for doing just that.
Oh yeah,
All
little
right.
bot buddy, we got you a solid 3 mil for your paw.
Boss man.
For your Paul.
For your paw.
Sparky would say that's not bad.
Oh, it's a yearly thing too, if I heard correctly.
That's better.
And out of character, Bird, are you the group's accountant? Are you keeping track of the finances?
It's under the group loot.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
Alright.
the one that actually always updates the stuff though.
Cool. All right.
So I technically am sort of.
Well, I
Anyways.
noticed that in the other game you were always kind of like the subtractor and adder of money.
The
So I
money
figured-
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the money guy.
Oh, I also, after the contract was signed or whatnot, she would have asked certain questions about it. Like, for example, what condition the ore is in so that they know if they like what kind of mining equipment. So I assume Lucas would have answered those questions. As in, if they come expecting orbiting asteroids and find orbiting nickel lava, it's going to be very different equipment needed. So,
Yes. As as a dignitary and as Lucas, he doesn't really have that much information on such things, but from what he's heard, it is fairly hot and needs a special carrying container.
yep. All right. Looks like this, though. You guys are
Mm-hmm.
not going to have to see it now because you made a cool deal, but that's what it looks like right about now.
Cool.
Damn.
We can always drive by our investment on the way back, so maybe we'll take a peek at it.
So yeah, well done, guys. And then I guess that you're headed back to Frontier.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In total, with your ship, we'll say that the mechanics were able to do another day. So, I said half. So let's say it's
2/3.
well, no, 1 day is not 2/3.
Yes. I'm doing a math check to double check that's right.
Well, what I'll say is that it'll knock off. Let's see. I said it was 10 million. It's 9.5 million now, and it would take another 14 days to do completely.
That's good.
Right.
Now we got something rolling in.
Yep.
On top of the other things we'll be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I know it's kind of a short session, but this
That's
is a good
fine.
place to end, I think.
Mhm.
Hopefully next week I'll have my computer back up and running. No promises, though. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I may have to skip next week or not, but I'll let you guys know well in advance.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, everyone,
Alright.
for watching.